Starting with version 5.3.0, Complete PBX systems natively support voice AI, virtual agents designed to help organizations achieve better operational efficiency and an enhanced customer experience. In this video, we will show you how to configure a virtual agent in Complete PBX. For this example, we will create a virtual agent configured as a receptionist, designed to route calls. To begin, navigate to PBX, Virtual Agents. Once there, click on Virtual Agents. Inside the Virtual Agents module, you can select the agent type. For this demonstration, we will select a Receptionist type agent. In the General tab, we will enter the main configuration details for the virtual agent. First, configure the code. For this example, we will use the code 7000. This code represents the number that extensions or users can dial to reach this virtual receptionist. Next, assign a name to the agent. For this demonstration, we will use a generic name such as Virtual Agent. In the Notes section, you can provide descriptive information that helps define the role of this agent. For example, you may enter a note such as, "This receptionist handles incoming sales and support calls." These notes help provide additional context that the virtual agent can take into account when interacting with callers. Departments. The Departments field can be configured if departments are already defined in your PBX. Department and company information is configured under Settings, PBX Settings, System General. In the Company tab, you can define the company name, the different departments within the organization. In this example, the company name and departments have already been configured. Once this information is available, return to the Virtual Agents module. You will then be able to assign departments to the virtual agent. By clicking the list icon in the Department section, you can choose from the available departments. For this demonstration, we will select Sales and Support. Within the General tab, you can also enable recording and transcription for this agent. Select the language for the virtual agent. Select the voice gender. In the Failure Destination section, you can define where calls will be routed in case the virtual agent service is unavailable. This destination is used when the agent cannot operate, ensuring that calls are still handled appropriately. The failure destination can be an extension, a queue, voicemail, etc. In this example, we will configure the failure destination to route calls to the voicemail of a specific extension. This ensures that calls are not dropped if the virtual agent cannot properly route them. Destinations. In the Destinations tab, you can configure the possible call destinations for the virtual agent. These may include queues, ring groups, extensions, other virtual agents. In this PBX, 2 call queues are already configured, Sales and Support. These queues can be selected as destinations for the virtual agent. In this example, we will also select extensions as destinations. However, for an extension to be used as a destination by a virtual agent, its contact info must be properly configured. Within the extension that will be used as a destination for the virtual agent, ensure that the required information is configured in the Contact Info tab of the Extensions module. A job title is defined, a department is assigned. The assigned department must match one of the departments previously configured under System, General. The Notes field in the Extension Contact Info tab is optional. If filled out, the information entered there will also be taken into account by the receptionist virtual agent when handling calls. Once this information is set, the extension will be available as a destination within the Virtual Agents module. For this example, we will select extensions 2001 through 2004, which already have the required contact information configured. Messages. In the Messages tab, you can customize greeting messages, confirmation messages, default questions. These messages define how the virtual agent interacts with callers. You may edit the content of these messages to match your desired call flow and tone. This section includes a reference note with instructions on how to use placeholders and what each placeholder represents. Before modifying the messages, we recommend reviewing this note to understand how placeholders are dynamically populated during calls. For example, the placeholder agent name dynamically retrieves the agent name configured in the General tab. If the agent name is set to the virtual agent, the greeting message will automatically adapt and say, "Hello, I'm virtual agent of Xorcom. How can I help you today?" Placeholders allow you to personalize messages dynamically without rewriting them. Instructions. In the Instructions tab, you can provide additional guidance to the virtual agent. These instructions help the agent understand how to handle calls using natural language processing. For this example, we will add instructions that allow the agent to properly gather information and route calls efficiently. Once all configurations are complete, click Save. Click Apply Changes. You can verify the configuration by clicking the list icon, where the newly created virtual agent will appear. The virtual agent can now be reached by dialing the configured code 7000. With this setup, the virtual agent is now ready to handle incoming calls efficiently and consistently. Thank you for watching.